What's up everybody, my name is Squigga, and today I am bringing you some UU battling here on Pokemon Showdown. Let's go ahead and meet the team. We have Mega Mike the Beedrill, Joe Gale the Crobat, Bardley Hiffs the Swampert, Plant Sarah the Roserade, Steve the Hydreigon, and Kyle the Doublade. Let's go ahead and look for a battle. See what we can find. UU has been pretty rough on me lately. I've been trying to use Nidoking in it, and I feel like I've fallen by the wayside. I haven't played UU in enough. I haven't played UU in a long time, so I've been getting mollywopped. Let's hope we can break that trend. We see a Absol, probably Mega. Espeon probably got that magic bounce. Galvantula with the sticky web. Maybe it's Mega Blastoise? I don't know. Haxorus and Mienshao. So very, very powerful team on the other side of the field. Now, chances are he's going to lead with that Galvantula, who packs the Energy Ball or Giga Drain for my Swampert. So I kind of don't want to lead with that. I think a better option for us is leading with Steve, our Hydreigon, who is packing the U-Turn and Choice Scarf. He's going to go ahead and lead with Blastoise, so probably a Mega here. I don't see any reason to stay in. I don't think a Draco Meteor is powerful enough to take this thing out, and I don't want to take an Ice Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and U-Turn with Steve here. We'll see what he ends up doing with that Blastoise. I love Mega Blastoise, super cool. Looks like it actually isn't Mega though, because we didn't see the Mega Evolution. I think our best bet here is probably going out into, I want to say Bardley Hiffs, but his special defense is just not that great. I think we're better off going into Plant Sarah, even though an Ice Beam could very well be coming our way. I think that's what we have to do. I think that is what we have to do. So, out comes Plant Sarah, our Roserade. He's going to go for the Aura Sphere, which is resisted. Good to know that he is packing it. Now, because he is, that makes me feel like he's Mega and just forgot to Mega Evolve or something like that, because it's a little weird to pack Aura Sphere on Blastoise without the Mega Launcher. We're going to go ahead and set up a layer of spikes, hoping that we can scare him out. As we do, he goes into Espeon, who is, of course, going to bounce our spikes back. That is something that I did not consider, and an excellent play by my opponent. Espeon will, of course, resist our Sludge Bomb, and our Giga Drain and stuff isn't going to do an awful lot to it. This thing is almost definitely packing Psyshock or something like that, which will do a hell of a lot of damage to us. So I think our best bet here is probably going out into, I want to say Kyle. I think Kyle, our Doublade, is probably our best bet. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We'll see what our opponent ends up doing. Yeah, unfortunately, Espeon is very hard to play around, because if you're trying to play around Espeon coming in at any given time, it's difficult. The Spikes is going to do a solid chunk of damage. We are going to resist that Dazzling Gleam, which is nice, and we do have the Eviolite, which is going to do some work for us. Now, I don't think this Espeon can do an awful lot to us. We saw the Dazzling Gleam. I don't think it gets focused. Well, it can't hit us with Focus Blast anyway. I kind of just want to Swords Dance, honestly. I kind of just want to Swords Dance because I don't see any, like, especially excellent counter on his team. I guess he does have the Mega Absol, so maybe that's nonsense and I should just go for an Iron Head. I think we're going to go for an Iron Head, hoping that he switches out. No, he has the Shadow Ball, which is going to do a ton of damage. Our Iron Head is going to do 67%, which is pretty nice. Will a Shadow Sneak take him out? I think we're going to have to find out, because the Spikes will do a hell of a lot to Kyle if we switch out, and we're not going to be outspeeding stuff. We're going to go ahead and Shadow Sneak here, hoping that it does enough. But he's going to switch out into Blastoise, so really solid play by my opponent again. This guy knows what he is doing, and we are just playing it safe far too often and getting burned for it. Now, what do we want to do here? I'm fairly confident that Mega Blastoise will kill us with just about anything that he goes for, or regular Blastoise. So I kind of want to just go for a Shadow Sneak for extra damage. We saw it did 13%. I could switch into Crobat to try and defog these Spikes and keep Kyle around, if nothing else, as switch fodder. So I think we're going to do that. So Joe Gale is going to come out here and defog these Spikes. He is going to go for the Ice Beam, so again, really good prediction on his part. Luckily, it doesn't do an awful lot. We are invested in HP. I see no reason not to go for the defog here. We are going to outspeed the Blastoise, and if he decides to switch, which he might, we can maybe get a Roost off against something. So we're going to go ahead and defog now. We got our defog off, getting rid of the Spikes. He is going to go for a Scald, which is 28%, but does not burn us, so we are safe to just Roost up here, which is exactly what we are going to do. I guess he was predicting the Roost there, so he didn't go for the Ice Beam. Clearly our opponent is well versed in the arts of Pokemon. So we get our Roost off as he goes for the Ice Beam, which is no longer super effective because we Roosted, which gets rid of our Flying type. I think here, because we're not going to be doing an awful lot to a Blastoise, I think we're going to go ahead and keep momentum going and U-turn out. We're going to do a powerful 10% with that U-turn. The question is, what do we have to really handle this Blastoise? We saw the Ice Beam didn't do an awful lot to Crobat when it was super effective, so I feel like this thing is defensive. Could be Assault Vest, though. I think, regardless, we're going to go out into Roserade. Even if he goes for an Ice Beam, I don't think it's going to do an awful lot to us. We are max Special Defense, max HP Roserade. So out comes Plant Sarah. He is going to go for that Ice Beam, which does 28%, so more than I want it to. But we're going to do just fine after Black Sludge Recovery. I think we're going to go ahead and Giga Drain here. Don't want to risk going for Spikes again into the Espeon, although he could very well predict that. As he does and stays in, he doesn't really like that Giga Drain, though. He doesn't really like that Giga Drain. He's going to freeze us. He's going to freeze us with Blastoise, so I think we are going to have to switch out. We do have that natural cure, so we will get rid of the freeze when we switch out. The question is he going to switch out as well? It's hard to say. I think our safest play here, just to scout what he might do, is probably to go into Kyle. But I think a Shadow Sneak will kill the Espeon, so I kind of want to keep him around just in case that is what ends up happening. What would he want to switch in here for free? Maybe the Galvantula? I could see him bringing in Galvantula here. I think we're going to play it safe in case he doesn't switch out and go into our Crobat. I think that is our safest play. So out comes Crobat. He does switch out and goes into Mienshao. Now, if this thing is choiced, it's going to outspeed us, but I'm not especially worried about that because we are packing the Brave Bird, and I don't think it can kill us in one hit. I could be wrong about that, but we are going to go ahead and Brave Bird. He might have the Fake Out. He might be doing like U-turn Regenerator Core kind of stuff, which is very, very powerful. Couldn't knock it. We are still sitting at 6v6 here. We are going to get a Brave Bird off as we outspeed and take out the Mienshao in one hit. Good job, Joe Gale. Look at you, putting in work with all your wings. So there goes a huge threat to our team. Mienshao is obviously very scary. I guess he thought he was going to outspeed there, but we do have quite the speed investment, and Crobat is a very speedy Pokemon. So he's going to bring in Haxorus. That makes me feel like Haxorus has got to be choiced, right? Because he wouldn't bring in Haxorus on a Crobat, seeing that it outsped what I would imagine is an invested Mienshao. So I think I'm going to anticipate this thing being Choice Scarfed and hard switch out. The question is into what? We might just have to lose Kyle here. Because switching into anything else has the potential to be really, really terrible for us. Then again, I don't think this thing gets a Grass move. We're gonna switch into Swampert and try and set up our Stealth Rocks. I know, I'm just kind of eating my words here, but I'm hoping that Swampert, who is max physically defensive, can take a hit. Dual Chop. He goes for the Dual Chop, which is an interesting play. I think I want to anticipate the Espeon coming in. I'm nervous about setting up Stealth Rocks just because we have that Espeon back there. If this thing is choiced, I think he would switch out. And he doesn't have anything that's immune to our Earthquake, so we're going to go ahead and Earthquake here. Worst comes to worst, we get some sweet damage off on this Haxorus and take some damage on our Swampert. He is going to switch into Espeon, so I'm glad I went for the Earthquake over the Stealth Rocks. We are going to see Espeon go down to that as we get some more Leftovers recovery to stay nice and healthy. With Espeon gone, I feel like it's pretty safe to set up Stealth Rocks, though not on a Galvantula, who is almost definitely packing Giga Drain. I think here our best bet, he probably also has Thunder, so going out into Crobat might not be a great idea. I think our best bet is going out into Plant Sarah. I think our best bet is going out into Plant Sarah. I don't really think he would Thunder into a ground type, but hey. So he's going to go for the Bug Buzz, which is a good play by him because it is neutral damage on us, and it does a pretty decent chunk. Now, I think this thing is probably just going to go ahead and set up Sticky Web. We're going to get a Sludge Bomb off and see how much it does. He could also just hard switch out. I guess Haxorus would take a Sludge Bomb. Okay, I don't know. We're in a pretty good position right now as it stands. Alright, so it looks like this guy did in fact bail on us, which is unfortunate. I think we're going to go ahead now and look for another one here because he lost due to inactivity. Well, I mean, I was having fun with that battle. We were doing pretty well. He was making some sweet predictions early on. So we got Kuyanu over here. with a powerful trainer sprite. Look at this guy. He is having none of your shit. So we see Mega Beedrill, Darmanitan, Hydreigon, Scrafty, Roserade, and Tentacruel. So 3 Pokemon in common across these teams, which is kind of cool. I kind of want to lead with Bardley Hips to try and get up those Stealth Rocks early, but Roserade is a thing, and I really don't want to get Roserated. Although, honestly, it's entirely possible that he just leads with the Mega Beedrill to try and, like, protect U-turn. So maybe it's safest to lead with Steve, who has the Choice Scarf, and will outspeed that thing. We're going to go ahead and start the timer. He does lead with the Beedrill, which is cool for us, because packing that Choice Scarf, we are going to do a hell of a lot of damage if he decides to stay in. He might... most Mega Beedrills pack the Protect so that they get that speed up turn 1. I think... Honestly, I think it might be worth it just to go ahead and Flamethrower, just in case he thinks he's going to outspeed, because we might be like Choice Specs or something. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully he gets greedy and goes for the U-turn, and we get to kill this Beedrill turn 1. Nope, he is just going to go ahead and Protect, as our Flamethrower is protected. Now, we are choiced into Flamethrower. But I kind of want to go for it anyway. He could switch in Tentacruel or Darmanitan here. I could predict that and switch out, but he still doesn't know whether or not we are Choice Scarfed or Choice Specs. He could infer because we stayed in, but I think we're going to go for the Flamethrower just in case he thinks he's going to outspeed us for whatever reason, because killing this Mega Beedrill would be amazing. Nope, he is going to go ahead and switch into the Tentacruel, who's going to take that Flamethrower like a champ, 9%. We don't see Black Sludge on the Tentacruel. Maybe we just don't see it turn 1 and I'm just being stupid again. But regardless, I think our safest switch here is probably Plant Sarah. I don't think Tentacruel can do a whole lot to Roserade, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Tentacruel is one of my favorite Pokemon, by the way. I love that thing. He's going to go for the Dazzling Gleam, which we resist. Can't fault him for going for the Dazzling Gleam on a Pokemon 4 times weak to Fairy. So let's see. What are we going to do here? I think I just want to set up Spikes, actually, because I think chances are he's going to switch out. I don't think he would go for like a neutral Sludge Bomb or something. I think he's just going to switch out and we get a layer of Spikes up, hopefully. Hopefully that is how it happens. No, he is packing the Ice Beam, which does 31%. So this thing is probably like a Salt Vest or something like that. We are going to get our layer of Spikes up. Seeing that the Ice Beam only did 30%, I'm pretty comfortable going for a second layer of Spikes here, which is nice. Very, very nice. What does he have on his team to remove them? He has the Tentacruel, as it turns out. So chances are he goes for a Rapid Spin here. So I kind of want to switch in Kyle. Anticipating the Rapid Spin. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit risky because we could take some damage off of like an Ice Beam or a Dazzling Gleam. He does just go for the Ice Beam and crits us, which is not especially cool. But we do see that even with a crit, it only does 20% of our health. So I'm pretty comfortable going for like an Iron Head or something here. I think an Iron Head might be our best bet, because if we Swords Dance, what does he have for us? His Hydreigon is probably packing like Flamethrower or something like that. Not that our Iron Head would do an awful lot to the Hydreigon anyway. We're gonna go ahead and Iron Head. And hope that he has the Scald. Which doesn't burn us. Our Iron Head is of course resisted, doing only 32%. I really did think that he was gonna switch there, but the Scald does a decent chunk of damage to us, which makes me kind of nervous. That does make me kind of nervous. We saw that our resisted Iron Head dealt 32%. So do we Swords Dance and then Shadow Sneak, or do we go right for the Shadow Claw here? I think a Shadow Claw plus Shadow Sneak will be enough to take out the Tentacruel, so that is what I am going to go for. We'll see what he ends up doing. He is staying resilient with his Tentacruel. Oh, he gets the burn. So unfortunately, our Shadow Claw, which previously would have been enough for us to take this thing out with a follow-up Shadow Sneak, is just going to fall flat here. So I think we're going to send in Roserade again on this thing and maybe just get like a Synthesis off or something, knowing that its Ice Beam doesn't do a ton to us. I am so sorry, Kyle. I am so sorry, buddy. It is really unfortunate that he got the burn there. I think without it, we would have seen a dead Tentacruel and a living Kyle. No reason not to Giga Drain. No reason not to Giga Drain. Look at Tentacruel. Tentacruel is so powerful. Jellyfish Pokemon with 2 noses, maybe. So he is going to get the super effective Ice Beam off, but thankfully he's not going to like freeze us or anything. Oh shit, Liquid Ooze. Oh no, I totally forgot that it gets that ability. Oh dear, oh my goodness. That has put us in a terrible, terrible position. I should have just went for Synthesis and played it safe. Oh my goodness. Now an Ice Beam is definitely going to KO us, and we are going to lose our special wall here for no good reason. This Tentacruel putting in so much work for my opponent's team. I don't think it's worth saving Plant Sarah. I mean, I guess she outspeeds a non-invested Scrafty. She outspeeds a non-invested Scrafty, but that is really it. So I think we're just going to have to lose Plant Sarah here. Luckily, oh my goodness, he has the Rapid Spin, so our spikes are gone, but we get our Synthesis off. So actually, this could be worse for us. This could definitely be worse for us. I'm going to go ahead and Synthesis again. He has gotten rid of our spikes, which is unfortunate, so he was packing the Rapid Spin that whole time. Kind of confusing for him to go for it right there. So out comes Darmanitan as we get off another Synthesis, putting us back at full health. The problem here is that Darmanitan is just so powerful. No matter what we switch in, we are going to take a ton of damage from this thing. The guy who's going to take it best, of course, is Swampert. So I feel like we're going to have to bring Bardley Hiffs in, even though there's no doubt in my mind that this Darmanitan is going to do an awful lot of damage to us. So out comes Bardley Hiffs. He, of course, stays in and goes for a U-turn, which is very safe. Chances are he U-turns out into Roserade here, who is a very safe switch-in on Swampert. If he goes out into Roserade, I think our best bet... Yep, out comes Roserade. I think our best bet here is probably going out into Crobat. I think Crobat is our best bet here, because he resists Roserade's stab. He might just go ahead and set up spikes or something to that effect. So out comes Joe Gale. He is going to Giga Drain, which does 11% to us, so not an awful lot, and we get our Black Sludge recovery. Now, I kind of want to just U-turn, expecting him to switch, but at the same time, a Brave Bird is going to do really solid damage to anything on his team, so we are going to go ahead and Brave Bird, I think. We'll see what he ends up doing. It's going to do a hell of a lot to the Roserade if he decides to stay in, but I don't think he will, as he switches out into Hydreigon. The Brave Bird still does a solid 50% on this Hydreigon. We don't see any leftovers or anything like that. I really do think this thing is Choice Scarfed. I really do think this thing is Choice Scarfed, so I want a hard switch. I want a hard switch out. I just don't think he would bring it in if it wasn't Choice Scarfed against a Crobat whose natural speed is just insane. What is this thing gonna do? It can carry Flamethrower, which from a Hydreigon, that's gonna do so much. I think we're gonna stay in and Brave Bird with Joe Gale and risk it. I think we're gonna risk the Brave Bird and hope that this guy overpredicts. Oh my goodness! Oh, we low roll on the Brave Bird and he gets off a Draco Meteor, which is of course enough to kill us. Damn, I guess maybe we high rolled on Brave Bird the first time, but we did see that we outsped, so this thing isn't Choice Scarfed, it's probably Choice Specs, which means he's liable to just switch out here. I think he's probably going to want to save it. So I'm going to go out into my own Hydreigon and get off a very safe U-turn, I think. He might just sacrifice it to get a safe switch into whatever we bring in off of our U-turn, but we'll see. We'll see. Hydreigon is pretty fast naturally, so he might want to just save it. Nope, he is going to let it go down and get a safe switch into whatever we bring in off of our U-turn. Let's see. He has the Beedrill, he has Darmanitan, he has Scrafty, he has Roserade, and he has Tentacruel left. I think Mega Mike is our safest switch in because we can get that Mega Evolution and Protect off. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Did we see Life Orb damage on the Darmanitan? I can't remember, but I don't think so. I don't think we did. So I feel like that thing's probably Choice Scarf. If it comes in here, then we know for sure that it is. Mega Beedrill, of course, being one of the frailest Pokemon in UU, cannot take anything from this guy. Whatever he brings in here, we are probably just going to Protect and Mega Evolve. If it's slower than us, we'll go ahead and U-turn, but I don't know why he would switch in something slower. So out comes Scrafty. So he gets the Intimidate off, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So we are actually safe then, I think, to Mega Evolve. I kind of want to Mega Evolve Protect to see what this thing has. He could be packing like Sucker Punch or something like that. He could also have the Pursuit, which would do a lot to us, but that would do a lot to us regardless. I don't want to risk this thing going ahead and bulking up. I don't want to risk this thing going ahead and bulking up for free if I use Protect, so I think I am going to go ahead and U-turn, because we don't have anything super effective on this guy. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve and U-turn out, hoping that he doesn't hit us with, like, a Pursuit or something like that. He has the Fake Out, which is going to do 25% and flinch us. So protecting there actually would have been just fine. But because he has Fake Out, I'm pretty certain that he doesn't have any other priority moves, so we can go ahead and U-turn again. It is unfortunate taking that an extra 25%, but honestly, Mega Beedrill would probably go down to just about anything from any of my opponent's offensive Pokemon anyway, so I'm not too torn up about him losing a little bit of health there. He's going to go ahead and hard switch out into Tentacruel, sacrificing it to our Beedrill, once again getting a safe switch in. So down goes Tentacruel. We see he's got Beedrill, Darmanitan, Scrafty, and Roserade left. I think our safest switch in at this point is probably Steve, because I believe Hydreigon is naturally faster than Darmanitan, so even if that thing is Choice Scarfed, we are going to be able to get off our own Choice Scarf, U-turn, Draco Meteor, or something to that effect. Let's see what he goes into here. The Tentacruel, I think we saw the Tentacruel pack the Dazzling Gleam, so I don't know that he would have a second Fairy-type move on his team, so hopefully our Hydreigon is safe from that 4 times super effective business. So he is going to bring out the Scrafty. We are not packing Focus Blast, we are packing Dark Pulse instead. A Draco Meteor would do a solid chunk to this Scrafty, but I would really much rather play it safe. He's probably just going to Fake Out us here, if I'm being honest, so it might be worth it just to hard switch, but... I think we're going to U-turn. He's probably just going to Fake Out for damage. Couldn't fault him for it. And I think, yeah, he goes for the Fake Out, which does 11%, so not all that bad. We are going to go ahead and U-turn again. He's using this thing as a pivot thus far. That's what we've seen. It is, of course, dangerous for us having the Stab Drain Punch against our Hydreigon, so I see no reason for him to switch out. So we are going to go ahead and U-turn, doing 7% on the Scrafty. I think our best bet here is probably to bring out Swampert, which is exactly what we are going to do. So out comes Bardley Hiffs as he goes for the safe knockoff, doing 24% to us, which is a lot considering that we are max physically defensive. Now, I want to set up a late game Stealth Rock here just because he's got Darmanitan running around, but at the same time, I think it would just be more beneficial for us. No, he's probably going to bring in the Roserade. He's probably going to go ahead and bring in the Roserade here, so I kind of want to double out into Mega Mike. The problem is that is so risky, switching it in on this Scrafty, who we don't really have anything for, who will do an awful lot of damage to us if he decides to stay in and go for an attacking move. I don't see any reason to risk it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and like set up the Stealth Rocks. If he brings in the Roserade, you know, so be it. But I really don't want to overpredict and risk losing the game for no reason. He does bring out the Roserade, so the double switch there would have been pretty amazing, but I'm not going to complain about getting up those free Stealth Rocks. Now, I think our best switch here is probably our own Roserade. Unfortunately, we can't really do an awful lot to each other, but it's definitely the safest thing I can do. Hopefully we can like force a switch into something that Swampert will be able to take a hit from, and we can get back the momentum that we are losing right now. Roserade and Swampert, really solid defensive core. So he's going to go out into Scrafty again as we switch back into Roserade. Now that's kind of interesting. I don't know that Scrafty can do a ton to us. I mean, I guess he gets like Ice Punch. I guess he does get Ice Punch. I'm not going to try and set up spikes or anything like that. I think our safest bet here is probably going for a Sludge Bomb, as it is neutral on like 3 of his 4 Pokemon. I don't really want to switch out here. He's probably going to Fake Out with the Scrafty. He does Fake Out, which we see it do 14%. We get 6% back off of our Black Sludge. So this thing can definitely hurt us. But I feel like he's probably going to switch out here, most likely into Darmanitan. But if he double switches into Roserade, switching in Swamp, you know what? We're going to switch in Swampert. We're going to switch in Swampert, hoping that he brings in the Darmanitan. No, he goes for the Ice Punch, so I am glad we switched out regardless. Now, here I think our best bet is probably going for an Earthquake. I know it's not going to do a ton to the Roserade, but it's going to do more than Scald, and I don't really want to fish for a burn on a natural cure Pokemon. He's going to go ahead and Drain Punch, which does 17%, so solid damage. We only get 30% off of our Earthquake, so honestly, I think Toxicking is a better play for us. Seeing that he stayed in and went for the Drain Punch, I feel pretty safe going for the Toxic. It does risk a free switch into Roserade, but I would rather have a Toxic Scrafty than, I feel like it's worth the risk, is what I'm trying to say. So he is going to Drain Punch again, doing 18%. We are going to hit our Toxic, which is great. Getting some sweet chip damage off on this Scrafty. I don't know that it's worth saving Bardley Hiffs at this point. I think our best bet here is just going for another Earthquake. He could switch out here if he wants to try and save his Scrafty from some unwanted toxic damage, but he's just going to go ahead and Drain Punch. I don't know if that was a high roll that time. I don't think it did that much damage before, but it is enough to take us out. Obviously very unfortunate. The good news is that we get a safe switch in to something. What do we want to bring out here? I'm feeling like Mega Mike, our Beedrill, is a solid choice. I don't know that our Poison Jab would kill this thing. I don't know that Drill Run would either. What do we have for this Scrafty? This Scrafty is definitely going to present a problem for us. We know that he has the Ice Punch, so if we don't one-hit KO him with Hydreigon, we will die. I think we're going to go out into... I'm going to go out into Beedrill because I'm more concerned about saving my Hydreigon to deal with Darmanitan and his Beedrill. So out comes Mega Mike. Now we are not going to U-turn here. I think we're going to have to go for our... Does fighting like resist poison? Oh my goodness, I should learn my frickin' type chart. I should learn my frickin' type chart. I could take the time to check it here. Which I think is what I'm going to have to do because at this point we are in some risky territory and I really don't want to lose for no good reason. So we're going to go ahead and very quickly, oh my goodness, we only have 60 seconds left. Never mind. We're going to have to Poison Jab. We are going to go ahead and Poison Jab. He is going to go out into Roserade, who is not going to take an awful lot from our Poison Jab. We see, oh my fucking god, I stand corrected. Jesus Christ. I forget that it is neutral because Roserade is, of course, grass, poison, and we are adaptability, so we are getting a sweet boost to our already ridiculously high attack. He brings in the Scrafty again to intimidate us and probably go for a Fake Out. Just for damage. Now, honestly, I don't see Roserade doing an awful lot, so I kind of just want to switch in Roserade and get some chip damage on the Scrafty, let the Toxic rack up a little bit, because the Scrafty is definitely, at this point, the biggest threat to my team, given that we are going to outspeed Beedrill with our Choice Scarf Hydreigon. He goes for the knockoff instead, so solid play by my opponent. An Ice Punch will definitely be enough to take us out, but just in case it isn't, I'm going to go ahead and Synthesis, or in case for whatever reason he decides to switch out. We got our Synthesis off because we are faster, I totally forgot. He crits and brings us down to 10%, but I'm pretty okay with that, knowing that a crit only did 83%. I think we are going to live after another Synthesis, which is what we are going to go ahead and go for. This has been a real whirlwind here. So he Synthesis up to 60% as he gets another Ice Punch off, bringing us down to 6. We are seeing that toxic damage really stack up. Now, I kind of want a Giga Drain here, but I don't think it's enough to kill because Scrafty is pretty naturally bulky. So I feel like I just have to play it safe and keep Synthesising, hoping that he doesn't get another crit with it. We'll see what happens, though. I don't think he'll switch out at this point. I mean, he could. It's entirely possible, and he does. He goes out into Beedrill, who's going to take 25% off of our Stealth Rocks. We are going to get another Synthesis off, which is great for us. Obviously, this Beedrill will outspeed us. This Beedrill will outspeed us and probably take us out with an Adaptability U-turn, if I'm being honest. But I think, again, just in case that isn't what happens, we are going to go ahead and Synthesis, playing it safe as we can. The U-turn does take us out, which is unfortunate, but we are going to get a safe switch into whatever he brings in. I imagine it will be the Scrafty again, just to get like a Fake Out off or something like that. We'll see, though. We'll see. We still don't know. I feel like we still don't know if the Darmanitan is Choice Scarfed. I think we still don't know if the Darmanitan is Choice Scarfed. But again, I really want to preserve our Hydreigon back there, Steve. So we're going to go out into Magic Mike. I think I just want to protect to see what he's going to do. I think I just want to protect to see what he's going to do. So that is exactly what is going to happen here. He might, I don't think he's going to switch out again. So we are going to get our Protect off. As he goes for the Fake Out, we are going to see more toxic damage on him, which is great. Obviously, he does not have priority here anymore. I feel like at this point, we are good to try and U-turn out and set up a kill with Steve. A little mini sweep. But it would be safer for us. It would be safer for us to go ahead and Drill Run. So we're going to go ahead and Drill Run. Just because, again, he's going to go out into B-Drill, who's going to take 25% off the Stealth Rocks, and we're going to Drill Run to take it out, which is great for us. I guess he was expecting a Poison Jab. Even then, I feel like a Poison Jab from Adaptability Mega B-Drill would kill. He is going to live the Stealth Rocks on 1%, so he can get a Fake Out off on our B-Drill if he so chooses, except that I'm going to Protect, so it's not going to happen. He's going to go ahead and switch into Darmanitan. I'm not sure why. That is a dead Scrafty. I guess he's just kind of playing games at this point. Now, if this thing is Choice Scarfed, it will outspeed and kill Mega Mike, rather. The question is whether or not we will outspeed him with Steve. Just in case we outspeed here, I'm going to go ahead and Drill Run. He is going to U-turn, so he is faster, which makes it clear that he is Choice Scarfed because Mega Beedrill has an absurd amount of speed. I do think our Hydreigon is naturally faster, though. So out comes Scrafty, who's going to die to the Stealth Rocks. Of course, our Drill Run is not going to connect because, you know, there's no Pokemon there to hit. I mean, that's fair, right? So his last Pokemon is, of course, Darmanitan, who's going to come in, take another 25% off of Stealth Rocks. Well. I think all we can really do here is go ahead and Drill Run. I think all we can do here is Drill Run, even though this thing is almost definitely going to take us out. He goes for a Rock Slide. The neutral Rock Slide on our Hydreigon. I think we still outspeed naturally. I think Hydreigon is faster than Darmanitan, but I could be wrong. We have 324 to 317, so we are naturally faster and max invested. I think we might be modest, though. I think we might be modest. I'm going to stop thinking about it and just go for that Draco Meteor. Hopefully, we go first and kill this thing. We do, and we do. So, great game, Kuyanu. That was a lot of fun, a tight 1-0 for us, and we do see the UU champs pulling out a victory in their debut appearance. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I had a lot of fun recording it. If you did, remember to leave a comment, like, or subscribe to see more videos like this one. That's it for me. Have a good one, everybody.